they'd sometimes leave their cigarettes on there, and it'll burn into the top of them. And you can see these. I always think the little castles remind me of. They always make me think of the fish and chip shop. Yeah, welcome back. It's on for another one of my videos in which I will continue on my chess journey. I've been playing a lot over the last few days, and it's a learning curve just for me to get my head around the computer. It's harder than what it is just play over the board, where you can look into your opponent's eyes and really just get a bit of a sense of where you might what the other guy's thinking. And so, but I'm doing pretty well. I've got an extra couple of hundred points. I don't really understand how that all works, but I'm doing pretty well, and I'm getting up there. So my boys still doesn't think I can get up to the 2,000, but I think I'm a bit of a chance. I mean, if I keep it up at this rate, I've got 200 points in the last couple of days, so I'm still on track to be getting my 2,000. So here we go. What do I want to do with this? Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to go in. He's attacking me pony here. I'll move the pony up here and be over on up here in the corner. I'll start bringing him around to have a crack at his old fella. Now, in the comments I was interested, there was a gentleman, I said, I was talking about the football, and he said he never heard of Lance Whitnell, which I couldn't believe. I mean, it's crazy to think that an old champion like Lance Whitnell is, he was only playing a few years ago, and now these guys are saying that they don't even remember him. So it makes you wonder about how much whether people follow the history of the club. And this is the thing with when a lot of people are talking about how Carlton will do in the future, or or worrying about how they're going. Lots of them don't even remember the good old days in which we were really doing something special. We're a special club, and it's been a long time since we had a performance. But I just would encourage all the young fellas. Now, not many of my viewers here are young fellas, but go and have a look at the prelim final in '99 when we beat Aston. Fraser Brown did that fantastic tackle in the last quarter. I think that was one of our best performances. I certainly go back and look at that, and Lance Whitnell was fantastic in that. Now, the thing about Lance is that when you Google him now, he was a strapping young lad. But one of the pictures that comes up has got him eating a pie and he's steering with his knees on some sort of. There's a steering wheel on his knees. My boy showed me that, and I didn't understand it. I just wanted to talk about the old salt and pepper shakers here. You've got them on both edges of the board, and the reason I think they look like salt and pepper shakers, and the reason they're like that is you want to bring them into the centre of the table as well. That's where they do their best work. That's why you dosey-do the old boss man and the salt and pepper shaker, and you dosey-do them so that you get them in the centre of the table. But I also think about they sort of remind me on here is when there used to be at the fish and chip shop in Wagga. I remember when they bought in these small, with the pinball machines, and they'd have the small sort of stool that was made out of plastic. It was a very similar shape to this, and some of the young ruffians that would come into the fish and chip shop used to, they would play on the pinball machines, of course, but they'd also sometimes, you used to be able to smoke in the fish and chip shop back in those days, and they'd sometimes leave their cigarettes on there, and it would burn into the top of them. And you can see these, I always think the little castles remind me of, they always make me think of the fish and chip shop with the burnt section from where the cigarettes used to be. Okay, I'm going to do here. I think is the best course of action, which I've done. I'm pretty confident here. I don't know what he's thinking, but oh no, that's blocked up my plans a little bit, but I think I can just bring this boy up here, and I'll put a bit of, I'll give the prickles a bit of, I'll just poke the prickles a little bit and see what he's got to say about stuff, and he's moved back there. That's not a bad move, but anyway, get the other priest out and let him, he's got a bit of space there. The altar boys have moved out of the way, and so he's got a bit of space there, but it's funny, you know, there's a lot of young fellas now. Back when my boys were young, they were obsessed with going to the fish and chip shop and playing the piddies. But I don't even know whether the young fellas go to the pennies anymore. They don't seem to talk about it too much. No, I just think I could just take that one there. Not sure what he's going to do about it, but I suspect he's probably going to bring. He's bringing the pony in, but it doesn't matter because I can just take that there, and that'd be pretty good. I mean, I feel like I've got I'm feeling very confident here, so you just got to get old Prickles up in there. Now, I would like to apologise. A lot of my viewers that watch a lot of my regular viewers, not they're more used to me talking a bit more about the football and that sort of thing, and I sense that they're not that interested really in watching me do what is a pretty rudimentary task of me making it there to the 2000s. Now, we shall see if that is rudimentary or not, but I just sense compared to something like playing pennant bowls, this shouldn't be as technically as difficult as that, because in bowls there's so many moving parts where you've got to play the game for a start, but you've also got there were 4 people on your team, 4 people on the other team, and so you're dealing with a lot more things happening. In the bowls, anything can happen. You could be, your skipper could be feeling a bit under the weather, or you could. The weather conditions come up differently, but you're not. Maybe you've got an injury. There's no injuries in chess. I always think that makes it a much simpler task to keep winning these games. Now, this is a classic example of where I've just got. It was a good game, but I've just simply put the pieces out there, and that'll be checkmate right there. So yeah, simple enough for me there. That game. I don't know what else to tell you about that. Once again, I'm only doing these videos to prove to my son-in-law, and I would like to thank him because he's putting these together. But I'm doing these videos because he seems to think that it's some sort of very difficult task for me to be
Controlling
able
the center and opening up the light square
to come
bishop for
through
development.
and
This is not the right idea.
show
This prepares the
my.
bishop for development.
He
Developing
says it's
the knight
almost
is-
impossible for me
this
to
kicks
get
the
to
knight.
2,000
This avoids clear danger.
in the time frame that he's put forward.
This
I
forces
said,
the opponent.
well,
A clear recapture.
I've done a fair
Black
few
develops the
things
knight
in my
attack.
life that people
Castling gets the
said
king.
were going. I married a
The rook
beautiful
gets
woman.
involved in the game.
People
The best
said
option
that
was to kick a queen.
because of the way I looked with her. He's just a short fella. They said, there's no way that you could, Peter, that you can bloody score a swimsuit model, and I did
This
that.
moves the queen to safe, developing.
Now
black can't stop. This is the
time
only good
will
move.
tell. We'll see
Recaptures.
how I go
Very
with
precise.
this, but
This
I'm
can-
feeling
this
pretty
develop-
confident.
The rook's the piece finds a new
people up
active
at the
square.
Bowls Club have been
The best
asking me
that leaves a
for
queen open to being
for
captured.
some advice, and I don't know why it's giving me, it's telling me that's all. You got to go. You're saying it's all red there, but and I know I've set a trap for him because I knew he wasn't going to take that. You just put a bit of pressure on the old fella, on the boss, and they always fall for this. They go
This
and
allows the
move
opponent
this.
to checkmate the king.
And anyway, and
This
then
misses
that,
an
that
opportunity,
was
and
all,
the game is over.
all she wrote. It's all been we being smarties for our Peter. So anyway, I'll have another one of these videos down the track, and so